Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you're new, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. If you are a follower, a subscriber, thank you for watching this video. For today, I'm going to be sharing something that I've, never wanted to do. Although a lot of people have been asking for me to Billy, do your favorite books, blah blah blah, but I just don't know how to really identify my favorite books. To be honest, I just know that this book is something that I'd like to read again, or this book is something I'd like to keep, but I don't know really whether to identify them as favorite or not. So instead, I came up with a different list. This time I have the books that have helped me throughout adulting. When I say adulting, I mean throughout my 20s, my early 20s up to now that I'm 28. I'm turning 29 soon. But these are my go-to books. I would say my go-to books in terms of fashion, whenever I feel less of, how I look. Whenever I feel like I don't have much creativity, these are the 5 books that I go to. So, here are the 5 books that helped me throughout adulting. Let's start with the first one. By the way, I'm not doing this in rank, just randomly out of the 5. I can say that they're all in the same level. Nothing is higher than the other. So let's start with something that I love. This is by Liz Uy. I don't know if this is stylized or stylist. I think stylized. However, there is a play of, including the name of Liz Uy here. And this is basically a book about 10 items on your closet that you should have. Like 10 items that you should have on your closet. Like having, for example, you should have tank tops, you should have jeans, skirt, and the like. But this is not just a typical fashion book for me. What I love about this is, as I was reading this, I realized that there is really no one way to express yourself through fashion. And with this particular book, with the identification of other things to have and how you can, put them together, mix and match, and create to be showing who you really are, I see that I can express myself through clothing. For those who are really close to me, you know that I love dressing up. Like, I'm a thrift store girl, I'm an ukay diva, and I usually buy clothes to mix and match because I feel like it's one way to express myself. And this book has actually given a lot of tips and even information about fashion that will help you also realize that there's no single fashion that a woman or a person for that matter should follow. It's up to us to actually mix and match whatever we have. So this one is my go-to in terms of fashion, especially in times when I feel like I'm not so confident about how I look. I just, read this and instantly I realize, I have clothes on my wardrobe that I can, mix and match, and I can feel good about it. So that's Stylized by Liz Uy. Another one is something that is also close to me. I've been following ABC I think since 2 years ago, and that's when I really started doing journaling. But beyond journaling, what I love about ABC is her creation of this book. This is actually about creativity, like how you manage creating something, later on making it as a business or just a hobby. But the thing about this book is that it gives you tips also about how you can always be creating. If you visit my Facebook account and my IG account, you would see that my tagline there would be, will create / curate to contribute. And I think one of the things that I can do is to create something. Either it's written or something like this, a video, a post on Instagram and Facebook, which is very inspirational for that matter. I feel like I can have that capability to share what I think and what I believe about. And so this one is a really help for you to process how you can create something. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be yours. So the thing about contributing something nowadays, especially that there is social media, is about how you process what you do and how you put there your own creativity, because there's no also just like fashion, there's no single creativity. So if you think you're not creative enough, try to read this book. You will realize that, oh, I can do that. That's my hobby before, but I've not revisited that. Maybe I can revisit and do it again, and I can do something. There is something that I can still contribute besides what I'm doing right now. So this one is a good book whenever you feel like you wanted to revisit something that will help you create more, and to contribute for to other people for inspiration, or maybe just for you for self-fulfillment. That will do good for you also. So this is Always Be Creating by Abby C. Another one is something that I started when I was 21 years old. That's why you would see it's mentioned there, Operation Death Cleaning at 27. So I found this book. Actually, I was familiar with this book earlier before I even bought this. I just bought this at Books and Mags in Market, and I happened to be aware that there is such thing as the stanning or the death cleaning. Now, the idea of death cleaning is that whenever you feel like you're already dying, of course everyone will die. It's not something to be not talked about. But if you feel like you're already there, almost at the end of the line, you start to let go of things and to minimize your possessions and even your dwelling, because you don't want to burden those who you will leave behind with all your stuff. But beyond that, what I really love about this book is that it made me reflect and think, what are the things that I have that I don't really need, and what if one day I die and my family and my friends would be burdened with the stuff that I own? Recently, my grandmother died, and her stuff is one thing that I think many of us in the family had difficulty letting go. I'm a person who can let go of physical stuff, but my family is not like that. My aunts are not like that. And so I could not explain to them that we should let go of her stuff, of my grandmother's stuff, because these are just stuff. But they think that it's still my grandmother's memories. However, this book made me realize that, oh no, really, it's not the physical stuff that would be most important at the end of the day. It will be more of your memories, your experiences. I'm not saying that material stuff is not good. It's good because it helps you live your life well and give worth in whatever you're doing. What I'm saying is this book is making me, or has made me reflect on, what if I die now? What do I wanted to do with the stuff that I'm going to leave behind? I don't want to burden anyone with my stuff. And so I decided that when I was 27, I'm going to do Operation Death Cleaning. And I've started decluttering, and I have donated in some charities like Caritas Manila, also in Humble Sustainability. I've started selling through my shop Apocalypsa. I also have given some to my friends and family members. So I have given a lot and let go of things. And I wanted that if ever I still have stuff, it will not be a burden to the people I will leave behind. I'm not saying that maybe I'm gonna die, but you can never say. But this one is even more helpful in terms of reflecting really about the things that we possess, the things that we really own, and what's really important at the end of the day. So this is The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning by Margareta Magnusson. The next two are novels. I could not think of another non-fiction to include because the first three that I showed are non-fiction, but the last two are my favorite fiction because these are the books that I read over and over in every era, I think, or every phase of my life, even, yearly. And this one of which is this Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I first encountered The Little Prince when I was in high school, and I felt like it was just a children's book. But when I started teaching in 2012, this is one of the novels, one of the books that I taught, and I appreciated it. And since then, I decided to read it over and over. Every year, at least on my birthday, I read this, and never in any of those years had I had the same reflection or realization. Every year that I read it, I would have a new insight. I would have a new realization, and that's what I love about it. So if you look at it, there are really markings. It's how I really am in most of my books. I really do markings, especially if it's my favorite, because I have no intentions of letting them go because I read them over and over. Just like this one, I read this every year during my birthday. And so there are really very special lines here that every time I remember, I know that it guides me to think well and to deal with life in a different way. Just like what the fox said to the Little Prince, it is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. So that's one of my favorite lines here, and this has been my guiding book, I think, when it comes to seeing what's important in life, at the same time looking at how we really live, how we really love, and how we deal with whatever is happening in our life. So that's The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Finally is something that is expected, I think, of me for most people that know me. This is a novel that is very much about women empowerment. And this is from one of my favorite African writers, Toni Morrison. The title is Sula. This is actually the name of the protagonist, Sula Peace. And she's hated by the people in her place in the Medallion in Ohio. And she still lived the way that she wanted to live. And whenever I feel like I'm suffocated with the life that people expect of me, or whenever I feel like I don't have that courage to be who I am anymore as a woman, I read this. Although she's maybe a bit defiant, but I loved it about her. And in the end, her closest friend, Nella Wright, realized that Sula is a really important aspect and part of her life because Sula inspired Nell to be who she really is. And I think this is the types of books that should be read by women and those who feel like they cannot be who they are. You can be who you are. I can be who I am, and that's what I got from this particular novel, Sula by Toni Morrison. So those are the 5 books. I'm not saying that these are the only books that helped me, but if I would say that the most often go-to, the one that I always go to, these are the 5 books in different aspects of my life. So here are Stylized, once again, Always Be Creating, The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning, The Little Prince, and Sula. If there are other topics that you want me to talk about regarding books or literature, just comment down below because I've been very interested in talking about this. But as a start, I'd like to present to you my go-to books. So that's all for now. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. See you again next time. Bye!